So, we are very excited to have you joining us here today to talk about some of the exciting new features that we've released over the past month or so that are very much aimed at helping you launch new products faster so that you can scale your store. So, I am very excited to be joined today by Sadi, who is our product manager. Sadi, could you introduce yourself to us?
Hey everyone. So I'm Sadi. I'm a product manager here in Oslo, Norway. And I'm very excited to share these features with you because they've been on your waiting list for a while. And you shared your ideas. We listened. And I couldn't be more excited to share with you what's coming up now.
Thank you so much, Sadi. And my name is Megan. I'm a product marketing manager here at Gelato, and I'm going to be hosting the session today. And then Sadi will be sharing some very exciting demos. So before we get ahead into the demo, just a few housekeeping items. So everyone who's attending the session today is on mute, just so we don't cause any disturbances during the demo. But please go ahead and add any questions that you have coming up during the demo in the question section on the bottom of your screen. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can during the session today. We're going to be aiming for the session to be about 30 minutes total. If we have any questions that we aren't able to get to today, Sadi or myself will follow up with you afterwards with answers to your questions. So before we get into the first demo, just an overview. Today, we're going to be covering our design templates function, our AI product publishing assistant, and two exciting new bulk product editing features. So bulk product editing and then also bulk product uploading as well. So starting us off, design templates. This is a feature that I'm personally very excited about as someone who plays around in the design editor quite a bit. It's very, very useful for anyone who's creating designs with multiple features. So for example, photo, text, stickers, etc. Rather than creating those individually on each of your products, you can now create a design template that you're easily able to apply to any product variant. This feature, I think, is extremely useful for our personalized products. So if you're creating design that has a personalized text element, for example, this can be easily applied to all of the different products you want to sell that on. So Sadi, take it away. I would love to see how this works.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction, Megan. So here I'd like to demo something on brand and on like seasonally appropriate. So let's go ahead and create a Valentine's themed card. So here I've just opened up the editor. This is a card product. I'd like to use a standard 5x7 card. And here I've chosen one of our Valentine's Day sticker packs. So this is available to all of you. You can choose one of these. And in this demo, I don't want to go very fancy, but I would like to explain the core concepts of the feature itself. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm very quickly going to put together a simple design. So I have my favorite font. Let's use that. So let's come up with a cute little idea on what we would like to say to our Valentine, right? Let's say popcorn without butter, and then we could use this quip in the other side, and then so you can always tell which side of the card you're editing. Here we're editing the front side, and here on the left side we're editing the back. And I'm consciously leaving the center folds, left and right, empty so that you can utilize it for something else, right? Or your customers can. Here I'll say, that's like me without you. And then of course I'll adjust this. And then I'll add one last element, unthinkable, right? And then once you have that, what do you do? So to use the design templates, only thing you need to do is click on the Save Design, and then this will appear in your templates section in your editor. So the next time you'd like to access this feature, you just come to your editor, you find the templates tab, and then it's waiting for you there. Well, how does this look? Like, how can you use this? So let me exit the editor, and then I'll just go to my store, and then let's add a another appropriate product for the season. Let's create a very cute mug for our customers to buy, right? I like the one that has multiple colors whilst I'm publishing. So here we have a mug product, and I go to my templates, and if I click this, suddenly I get my design here with all of the layers applied. So all I need to do is adjust them based on the product I'm publishing for. And here you just created a design, you took all of the layers, and you can apply to another product instantly. And then now you publish this product to your store. Back to you, Megan.
Thank you, Sadi. So, okay, you've got your designs ready, and now you're going to go ahead and create a bunch of new products with them. That sounds like a lot of different product descriptions to write, but thankfully, now we have the AI product publishing assistant, which will help you directly in the Gelato interface create optimized product descriptions, titles, tags, if you're using Etsy, for example, to make sure that you have great content for that product, and you can create it all within your product publishing flow at Gelato rather than having to go to a third-party platform like ChatGPT, for example, as I'm sure many of you have used. So Sadi, I'd love to see what this looks like when you are going ahead and publishing your products. How does this work?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll love to give you some more details on this. So one of the core principles we like to try to play with is platform specific features. So in this case, I like to highlight that I'll be creating a description for a Shopify product. However, we do have the concept of if it's a Shopify product, the generated title and descriptions would be slightly different versus what you would have on Etsy. And for Etsy, for example, you will get very strong SEO optimized tags. For Amazon, it's the same way. So based on which platform you're publishing for, you'll get different results, and that's intentional. And I would encourage all of you to experiment with this. So how does this work? When you're publishing a product, now that we had the design, we're creating it and publishing to store. Here, you can see that this is the default. I haven't touched this, but we have this generate with AI. When you click this, you have a couple of things. The more descriptive you are, the better the results are going to be. I generally tend to give information on what it is for, where it's going to be used for, if it's something about Valentine's Day or if it's for someone else. I also make sure that I mention it. So I had a pre-created title here. It's not fancy, but it's adorable popcorn and butter Valentine's Day card, but I didn't put anything else, right? So let's generate and see what it comes with. The exciting part is, of course, it gives, like, in this instance, I'm also excited to see what it's going to come up with, right? So once you get your results, or once you get your answer, here are a couple of things you can do with this. You can choose to publish the title and everything else in the screen is the same way. You can choose to publish the title, description, or you can choose not to include them, right? So let's say I'm happy with everything, I'll leave them on. But if I scroll down to the tag section, there are some tags I didn't like. I can turn them off, right? Like premium paper greeting cards doesn't seem that relevant. I can turn that off, right? Here you have the full text editor. You can keep editing this. For me, this looks good, and I can just hit apply, and all of my changes are here. You again have your controls that would come with your platform out of the box, and then I can go ahead and publish this to my store. So that's how the Generate with AI works. The whole goal is to help you publish products faster without having to leave the platform. Back to you, Megan.
Thank you, Sadi. Okay, so you've created all of these new products. You've now created all your designs. And let's say you want to go ahead and maybe make some changes. You've decided you want to change your mockups, for example, or let's say the description itself. So in the past, this would be maybe a more manual process. You have to go in one by one through each of your products, and this could get kind of time consuming if you want to make those bulk changes. This is why I'm very excited about the new bulk editing features we have. So this allows you to select and edit many of your different variants at the same time. So simultaneously, you can easily update your designs, for example, prices, your mockups, your descriptions, and more. So I'd love to see what this looks like, Sadi.
Yes, absolutely. And this one I'm particularly excited for. So, those of you who are Power Gelato users, you will know that we have a feature called Expand Product. Expand Product basically means you can, on the same listing, have multiple products as variants of each other. So, for example, if you go to the Gelato catalog, you will find that there's a poster product without frames, but there's also a poster product with frames that you can sell. So, when you publish an expanded product, it means we're putting the two listings, which is like a poster without frames and poster with frames, together on the same listing. Those of you who've used Gelato for a while will remember that once you expanded a product, you couldn't do bulk operations anymore. So it meant that if you wanted to change a design, you had to do it one by one, no more. And this is something I'm very excited about. So here we have a expanded product. It's a very simple product. It has a poster, no frames, and also has the frame version of it, right? And when I enter the editor, if I click edit designs, this is what it's going to look like. So right now I'm in one mode that is for the poster product alone without the frames. And then I could do anything here. I can adjust this. I could have added any text here, and then that will be my edit in bulk. And then if I want to change the frame version, I go to the frame version and voila, you can edit this very quickly without having to go in and out of the editor, republishing your product multiple times. And once you're happy with your changes, you continue with the mockups, and then you go to the prices. As Megan was saying, you can do all of these operations in bulk. Here, you will see the different options of your products with different pricing points so that everything can happen all at once. And the whole goal is to help you make changes faster, maintain your store, and catch up with the season. I know Valentine's Day is right around the corner. If you didn't prepare, you still have time. You can publish as many products, you can expand them, you can edit them, and then you can reap the benefits of them. Back to you, Megan.
Thank you, Sadi. And now we're going to pivot to kind of a slightly different feature, which is an exciting as well. So if you've been selling on a platform, Shopify, Etsy, etc., and you've already created products in the past, and you have, your product descriptions, your design files, and you want to add those products to Gelato, this could also be a fairly time-consuming process, having to go one by one and add each of those details separately. So this is another feature, which I'm sounding like a little bit of a broken record here, but I'm also very excited about, where you can now bulk upload new products to Gelato using a CSV file. So you simply create the CSV file, add all the desired inputs, which Sadi will touch on in a second, upload that CSV file to Gelato, and it'll take a few minutes to load, but then instantly you'll have all those products auto-populated. This is really exciting, I think, for sellers who have, for example, have been selling posters and already have a wide range of existing designs on their store. They know their sizes and their variants, and you know what you want to get up and running quickly rather than having to go and do that manually. You can now do your bulk upload. So back to you again, Sadi. What does this look like?
Yes. So this is another one I'm very excited for, because when I talk to most of you, for various reasons, you can use your platform as sort of a templating place. For example, if you're a Shopify seller, you create one page and you have your metadata structured, you have all of your page structure there, and you can copy these pages or products within Shopify. It's a very normal flow, which means you have a bunch of products created in Shopify, but now you need to connect them to Gelato. In the past, you would have had to do this one by one, but now we allow you to export which I'm going to show you now, actually. Let's go to the store. We have this bulk operations feature. Now this should appear as of the start of this week, you should have noticed this. It's called bulk operations, and it's called connect products using files. So here, what happens is we give you an export file, which is basically a template. Those of you who use Shopify is going to be more familiar with this flow, where you can export a template file and then you populate this. I just want to touch upon what you populated with, and then I'm going to show a case in which we'll make a mistake. And I will show that we also give you some feedback so that everything goes smoothly, right? Here, one call out is that the product variant ID, and then the product ID is your store specific product variant ID or product ID. So in Shopify, all of you, when you look at your product, you will have a product ID that specifies the product itself. So you would be connecting that, right? And then another tip is that your files need to be publicly shareable or downloadable for us to be able to apply these files on the connected product, right? Those are the hot tips. So let's go ahead and, last point before I go into the file upload, when you do an export CSV, we'll send it to the email you have here. So please double check the email you have there is correct. And then let's upload a file. I'll just go to my files. I'll select the webinar demo. And then when this is uploaded, you will see this error popping up. So I have my file. There's something wrong with this. So don't worry. If you made any mistakes, if there's any areas that are missing, we will let you know. And you can, of course, re-upload the file as many times as you want. And at the end of the flow, when you get it right, this will turn active. And then you can go ahead and connect your products. In essence of time of this demo, to be able to take questions, I'll go back to Megan, and then really excited to hear what you come up with.
Thank you, Sadi. So that concludes the live demo portion, and then we'll dive into a few of your questions. So the first one that's coming up, Sadi, is around the AI product optimization. So this is a two-layered question. First, how is the tool selecting the tags? So is it referring to a tool that has low completion or high search volume? And then second, for Etsy specifically, does this follow Etsy's best practices for titles and descriptions to contain the tags you're using?
That is a fantastic question. So let's start with the first part, which is it referring to any tools? It is not connected to any live data source. So it will not, let's say you're using some of the Etsy keyword finder tools out there. It's not using that kind of a connection. However, the second part of your question, where you mentioned title best practices, description best practices, and tags, etc., yes, those are all baked in. So for example, if there's a 140 character title limit, you're going to see titles no longer than 140 characters. If the tags are supposed to be 20 characters, your tags are going to be generated 20 characters, right? And the best part about this is that we try to give you also flexibility for you to try again, and then ability to select, unselect the answers if you're not happy with them. But the platform specific best practices are followed, and we're always improving it with your feedback and our tests. So if you find anything, let us know, let me know. We're more than happy to iterate.
Thank you, Sadi. And a second question kind of related to this on the platforms for AI. So if I'm selling on multiple platforms, let's take Shopify and Etsy, for example, do I need to use the AI product publishing tool separately if I have the same product published on both platforms?
So depends on the strategy you want to go with, because sometimes you want to use the same description. Some of our customers use it to go faster. But so we have a feature called copy product from store to another store. So how I would go about this is when you publish a product to, let's say, Shopify, you can take that exact same product. Let's just remember the cute little dog poster we had. You could have published that in Etsy also. And what I usually do is you have the ability to go back to the platform and you can change the description of the product. So you can come into the product. I'll just show it right now. So let's imagine you took this product from Shopify. Now you're in Etsy and you want to transform it, let's call it, into a more Etsy-like situation. You just edit details, right? When you edit the details, you will get back the feature set that would allow you to recreate these titles. And then that's how I would have approached this.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Sadi. This is another question that kind of touches on the point that you just covered, but I want to ask it anyways, just to make sure we're giving clarity here. So, is it possible to export all products that are already available in your Etsy store and import them to a new Shopify store?
So in that regard, cross-platform is sometimes tricky depending on the number of options that's allowed. So for example, Shopify lets you display 3 different product options, but on Etsy, you would have 2 different product options. So as long as you can manage that they match and you are ensuring that your variant IDs and product IDs are structured correctly, I see no issues cross-platform uploading. However, I would be careful in that the way you architecture your first product or first store, there's of course ways to do it. For example, if you're going from Shopify to Etsy, I see some of our customers concatenating some of the field names. So you could call it, for example, instead of having a frame color and let's say size, or frame color and then frame type, for example, you could make them frame color type as one field, and then you could publish it that way, right? So usually going from Etsy to Shopify is easier just because it offers more flexibility, but something to keep in mind.
Thank you. The next question we have is, do I have to have my own store to sell products, or does Gelato offer a platform within its site for us to use to sell our products? I can take this one to not put all the pressure on you, Sadi. So, right now, yes, currently you need to have another platform, whether that's an e-commerce platform or a marketplace to sell Gelato products. Right now, we do not currently offer a platform for you to sell our products on. There are some platforms who do this, but right now we're direct through integrations, third-party integrations to sell. And then the next one, does Gelato plan to support multi-product templates and allow you to duplicate products that have multiple product variants configured? For example, poster, frame canvas, frame poster. This one I'll pass to you, Sadi.
So this is a very popular request, and we're working towards a solution that goes there. However, the template design or design templates, we interchangeably call it, the one I displayed, that's the easier way to explain here, is one step closer to that step. So we now give you the ability to apply the same design on multiple products. We now also give you ability to edit expanded products. So we're slowly moving our way there. And thank you for asking. That's a very exciting area that I'm very excited to share maybe in our next one.
Thank you. And then we have a follow-up question about the tags and keywords. Etsy wants to see the same keywords in all 3 places. Oh, sorry, this is more of a feedback thing. Sorry, I'll skip over that question and we'll take that separately. The next question is, what if I want to offer the products in different languages on Etsy? Does Gelato support multiple language versions?
So this is an interesting part. On Etsy, unfortunately, there are platform restrictions that as a app developer, we don't have control over, at like just giving, right? When you're publishing a product, of course, you can publish it in any language. So that we support out of the box, of course. And what I've observed are international customers doing, depending on how aggressive you want to go in a market. I've seen our customers have multiple stores in multiple markets, right? So if you're selling in Germany, you could have a German store. If you're selling in Italy, you would have an Italian store. And as long as they're under the same account, the good part is you can make the designs shared across, unless you have the text in the designs also, of course. But with the features I just explained to you, like copying one design from one store to another, like you could very easily expand your store range and be hyper localized. But I like to also mention in Shopify, for example, with the personalization studio features, we offer out of the box translations, for example, in the editor experience. So when your customers are experiencing a version of the Gelato editor, which they can personalize their artwork on, that's going to be in your customers' language. So if they're in Spain, they'll see it in Spanish. The interface is going to be translated.
Thank you. Then next one I will take. Do you still require Autodesk for Amazon UK stores? So yes, our currently our Amazon integration is only available for the US marketplace. So what that means is for you selling in the US doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be based in the US, but if you want to sell on US Amazon, we're exploring launching in other markets. So hopefully follow up some exciting news there soon. But as of today, yes, we're only supporting Amazon direct integration in the US. And then moving on to the bulk editing function, we'll wrap up with the last couple of questions here, and then we'll follow up with the rest of you individually. If you choose to use a bulk upload process with Gelato, can you also bulk generate mockup images for them?
So here I will take generate as in generative AI, but you could have asked the other version, right? So first, let me go to generate AI one. So we are working on a generate AI designs that's coming up, and that's very exciting. However, the part about the bulk upload process and ability to generate mockups, let's say you being able to control which mockups, we have a default mockup that you connect with. So when you're doing the bulk connection operation, you select the default mockup that comes with the product. So at the moment, that's what it supports. However, that's a fantastic feedback. And if you have other suggestions, drop it in the feature board Megan is going to share, which we're very excited to share with you, because that's the platform you can share your ideas, you can upload to each other's ideas, and that's how you can show your enthusiasm for a particular feature.
Exactly. Thank you, Sadi. So we will wrap up with the questions now and follow up with the open questions we haven't gotten to via email. There was a few of you asking if you will get a recording of the session. Yes, you will. We will follow up with that. And then an ask on our end is, as Sadi mentioned, we now have a feature request board, which I'll include in the link in the follow-up email we send. We would love to hear from you. What new features are you looking for? Upvote on the ones that you see that other people are suggesting if there's anything that catches your mind. And we'd really love to get any feedback you have on these features as well, so we can continue to develop them and help you guys save time while you're creating. So big thank you to everyone who joined us and asked questions during the session. As I said, I will follow up with the recording after the session, and we were looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much, Sadi, for the demo. Very exciting.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.